My name is Julie and welcome to my channel. I guess this morning I was batch recording a bunch of video, and a video that is already, I know is already out, is how many chains I did in a minute. And now since I had a chain started, hey, let's just start another project. I don't know what this is going to be yet. It could be anything. I just started doing double crochets on the chains I did in that challenge. I haven't still got a couple more yet. You'll have to subscribe to see what I do with this. It's definitely going to be a stash buster type project, because I'm going to use what acrylic yarn I have in my stash for this. It could be a scarf. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It could be a cowl. It could be a hat. I don't know. We'll figure out something with that. So, well, in this video, I seen some spring fling questions going around. So I thought in this video, I would answer some spring fling questions. And okay, I wrote them down. So it's kind of interesting. I think I've seen, I don't know who started it. I watched it in Nina's Knots Crochet. I watched her video and she did it, and I thought, sure, why not answer a bunch of questions? So you have to watch her video to see who was the brainchild behind this. So now it's going around the internet. I think I started to see other ones pop up. So now I guess I will answer some questions for spring fling. Okay, I wrote them down in the description. So the first question is what I like to do in the spring that I can't do other times of the year. Well, I think what we're going to eventually do is, I know later on in the questions there's going to ask about a garden, but we don't do a garden. We have a planter box that we bought off Amazon, and I think this is going to be, I don't even know if we're going to chance to use it this year. This might be last year. Use that planter box because, it came in, it wasn't, it was wood and it was not finished or stained. So it's starting to kind of wear down and fall apart because we didn't stain it. So, and hopefully we can probably get another this year. We'll try again. So we'll probably plant stuff or we'll probably more likely, we cook more. So we'll probably plant for sure herbs, and we've done catnip in the past. And then we might throw in a few flowers. It's not that big of a planter box. I think I would prefer to put, we'll put herbs. So sometime in the spring, we'll go to, in the springtime, the shops, even the grocery stores will start showing plants, and you see greenhouses, and that's up. It's the thing I can think of that when it's spring, we start to go, you're buying your flowers and your plants and stuff. So that's what things we do in the spring. So in the springs, now we're talking about planting and buying flowers and stuff. I guess that goes into the next question is, what is your favorite spring flower? And, I like to look at flowers in general, but I don't know much about flowers, so I couldn't come up. The only flower I can think of off the top of my head is a tulip. I think tulips are pretty. And I think it's one of them flowers, like I said, I'm not a gardener. I think you kind of plant them, I think, in the fall. And then they pop up in the spring. But we don't have tulips. So maybe if I remember in the fall, maybe we'll think about planting some tulips this seed, and then on the side of the house, and then maybe they'll pop up and we'll have tulips. Not this year, maybe next year. Oh, what's my favorite thing about spring? The only thing I think about spring is, hey, it's warmer weather. Or should I say consistently warmer weather, because I suppose I should at some point, I live in Lincoln, Nebraska. So we do experience all 4 seasons, but usually about getting time into the spring, sometimes we can experience all 4 seasons in a week. Because, yeah, if you've seen any of my temperature blanket projects, it hit the 60s like last week. And then days later, it's in the 20s. I mean, that was one of the craziest things about Nebraska, and I'm seeing it in my temperature blanket. You'll have the temperature fluctuates so much. And the thing about spring is, hey, once spring is here, then we shouldn't, in theory, see snow anymore. but you know, that was one. Like I said, that's one of the weird things about Nebraska that I think is more in the fall too. That you can see the 4 seasons in a week. Let's see. Oh, of course, I guess that just led into the next question. What is the weather like in your area? And I think I just answered that in the last question. We get all 4 seasons, and we can have it in a week. All 4 seasons in a week. So yeah, it can be weird sometimes. You can have warm and cold, extreme weather temperatures within days of each other. I suppose that could potentially happen in other places, but that was one of the things that is, I think, is somewhat, I guess it's expected in Nebraska, is the weather can fluctuate a lot. So, okay, so the next question was, I guess we already brought it up. When do we start a garden? We don't do, like I just mentioned that in the first video. We have a box, in this planter box. We will plant probably herbs. And yeah, other than that, I don't do a full-fledged garden. I don't know, I'm not into the small planter box is about all I can handle for a garden. I can't. When I was a child, my parents had this vegetable garden, this big garden, and I remember one of the chores is pulling weeds, and I hated it. But shoot, we lived in northern Wisconsin, so the season for garden was kind of like, okay, you had to like almost wait till May before the ground was thawed enough to start a garden. But you didn't want to start too late in the year, because then it's going to get too cold before the crop was done. So you had to, I don't know much about gardening, but I remember that, yeah, you had to almost wait till May, but you can't go too much later to start a garden, because then it's going to get too cold. But okay, that was my childhood gardening story. So we'll go on to our next question. Do you celebrate Easter? We for sure celebrate Easter. I participate. I'm in the church choir, so Easter is like the time that was a time we start preparing for our programs and music. So we definitely regularly go to church. So we definitely celebrate Easter in church in that way. And then as far as family, yeah, we might plan. I don't know. It just seems like I don't want to say Easter is low key, but I know for our grandchildren, they might dress up nice for Easter, and we'll do Easter egg hunt, or at least they'll participate in Easter egg hunt. I mean, we did that when my kids were smaller. We did that kind of thing too. We would hunt Easter eggs, but you know, now we have grown children, and we might do it with the grandchildren, but yeah. But other than that, we might get together, have dinner, and that was about the extent of Easter, because our other children don't go to church. So to celebrate Easter usually means we're going to have a meal. And that's about usually the extent of Easter celebration. Let's see, next question. Do you crochet or knit anything special for spring? No. I'll crochet and knit whatever. No, I just started a new project prompted by how many chains I did in a minute. So, and I also I think I just also going to start the new sloth. Because I don't know, check out Sumo. I'll have the video out soon for that. Right. I digress. Sorry. All right. I like this question. Do you spring clean? No, I barely clean, period. I'm sorry. I'm not a good housekeeper. I'm not good when it comes to cleaning. I regularly do laundry. I barely remember to vacuum. I hardly ever dust. That might be the extent of my spring cleaning. I better dust. So, and then usually if there's and I think I have in the past, like straighten or clean out the garage, because I have to wait. That's one of them things that, okay, you gotta wait for the weather to be warm to straighten out, clean out the garage. But I might not necessarily wait for spring. We'll just wait for when the weather's nice. Oh, and then I might clean my car. But that's not necessarily, that has to be more of a summer. It has to be summer, more like weather than spring weather. But yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, if I do any type of spring cleaning when the weather gets, once the weather gets warm enough, I'm gonna definitely wash my car. It is filthy right now. All right. Last question: do we go anywhere for spring break? Not specifically for spring break, but my husband and I have an anniversary in early March. That's coming up in a couple weeks. And also my husband has a birthday in March. So if we have gone on vacation because of either his birthday or because of our anniversary, most of the times it just happened to fall on spring break. So that's about the only time we'll go on vacation because of that, not necessarily because it's spring break. And even when we had kids when they had a week off, if they had a week off for school, we didn't do anything or went anywhere for spring break. So that was all the questions. So hopefully you guys got to know a little bit more about me in general through answering these questions, and I look forward to seeing other spring questions on the internet and learning more about the yarning community. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you for watching. And I will see you in my next video. Bye now.